Hey everybody, it's Geekopolis here. So, I have just found out, and or more or less confirmed, and when I say confirmed, I seen on Geekdom, who is literally the most credible Dragon Ball YouTuber that there is. He is very reliable, and he has said that Dragon Ball Super will be returning at some point within this year. He believes it to be around July, and they'll announce it sometime in April or May. Now, he is very credible. That's why I'm using him as a source. And first and foremost, before I even start the video, if you haven't already, go subscribe to him. He's the best. Now, with that being said, with that information, I would like to discuss it. But I want to make sure that he gets full credit. This is his information. He came out with it first. I'm just discussing it. I'll link his channel. But seriously, so he's a great member of the Dragon Ball community, and he deserves his credit. So, with the return of Dragon Ball Super, what does that mean? And what are they going to start off with, and where are they going? Well, I haven't really covered any of the manga because I want to cover the whole thing in like its own arc, because I don't like have the manga in front of me. Like, I would have to go and get it, and I want to have it completely done before I start, or at least that arc be done, where I can just do the whole big video, like a half hour or so, and just discuss it. But that is probably what it's going to entail, obviously. Because, usually the manga, they write the manga, then they do the anime. Super didn't have a manga to go off of, so it was just whoever was writing the story that day. I mean, they had obviously a team to do it, but it wasn't, like, based solely off a manga. Now they have a manga. So there's, like, two canons now, but it's essentially the same. It's weird. I mean, I guess they're going to be using the manga now, but everything in the anime that has happened in canon. So, I guess technically both of them are canon, so whatever one you like more, you can go off of. But now they are going to be using the manga as a source to be adapted. I believe, at least. This is what I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I can't guarantee that, but it makes the most sense. So, what I think that they're going to do, though, since that arc is not finished with Moro, he's the villain that they're facing right now. He's a magic user. And I think it's really interesting, and I'm going to enjoy discussing him, because he reminds me a lot of, like, older Dragon Ball villains, where they weren't so much based on just power alone, where there was more tactical, and ability-based fighting, and less so on who could make the bigger attack. So that's refreshing to see, but I'll discuss that when it's finished. I think that they're going to retell Broly. I do. Because, one, Toriyama himself wrote a lot more, and I think there's plenty in there for them to adapt. And I'm okay with that, because I like Broly, and I like the story. I thought it was a really good movie. And if there was way more that they could have added, because there was scenes in there that I felt like were really rushed, and with the series, you could take your time and flesh that out. And I think that was one of the original problems with Super. The arcs felt really short. I mean, look at some of the older arcs. I mean, the Saiyan Saga was the shortest among them. Frieza Saga was really long. Cell Saga. Well, I consider the androids and the Cell Saga the same saga, but if you want to break them up, that's fine too. And the Buu Saga was also really long. In Dragon Ball Super, the sagas are very short. The arcs that they have, very short in comparison. So, if they do, redo the Broly movie, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would be kind of annoyed because they did that already with Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. But I wouldn't mind it, because the difference is there's a lot more material that apparently wasn't able to be put in the movie due to it only being like 90 minutes was like their limit. They can make it something like that. So if they're going to be doing all the stuff that they left out, like doing more, explaining of events and how things happened, and more dialogue, more fighting, that's always good. Or, more character development, that's fine. Plus, I think that'll give them more time for the manga to keep going. Because I'd rather them retell Broly than give us a bunch of filler. Because I've never really liked filler because you can't really use it. And, if filler is like one of those double-edged swords. Like, you're one of those, it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Okay, say it's really good, like it's an awesome filler arc. Yeah, it's cool to see it, but then if they did something really awesome, like they have like a new ability or something, or some really cool development, well, it's not canon. You'll never see that again. But if it sucks, you're just wasting your time. So it's like, what's the point of me even watching this? So again, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So that's why I'm not a fan of filler. And I would rather them do a complete canon series, even if it is a retelling, and just expand upon it. If you do that, that will probably take, and do it right, it'll take maybe a year or two to do. That's plenty of time to give the manga a chance to continue and be far enough ahead of the anime, or when they get to the Moro stuff, they can be like an arc or two ahead. Because, you'll catch up super quickly. Like, if you start off with Moro, the arc isn't even finished. But if you take like a year or two and just really, really stretch out the Broly and make them like really long, like just the arc should be long. Because again, the arcs that we've been through so far have been really short in comparison. The Tournament of Power is the only exception, but it was just fighting. It was basically just fan service. The saga, the arc. So you need to expand it, make it feel like they're in danger and like there's more character development than that was shown in the movie. And just make an already good story better. And give the manga time to actually grow and be its own thing. And then adapt it. Because I don't think they're going to bring Super back just for one arc or two arcs. It's going to be at least 3 or 4. Usually they do it in like 4. Because that was the same for Dragon Ball Z. It was 4. It was 5 if you count the Android and Cell arcs as different ones. I count them as the same. So it was 4 there. In the original Dragon Ball, it was... How many were there? There was the tournament arc. There was the Demon King Piccolo arc. The other tournament arc. The Red Ribbon Army arc. Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 in there. So they're not just gonna come and Super. It was 4. The Beerus and Battle, with the Battle of God stuff, Golden Frieza, Resurrection F stuff, the Trunks arc, or Future Trunks arc, with Goku Black and Zamasu, and the Tournament of Power. No, wait, nope, there's 5. There's 5. So I forgot the Universal Survival, Universe 6 versus Universe 7 Tournament arc. So yeah, 5. Yeah, so most of them have like 5. 4 or 5. So with this new, season coming back, I don't think they're going to do just 1 arc, or 2 arcs. I think they're going to do like 3 or 4. And we only have 2 available right now. And if you don't do the Broly movie, you're only going to have 1. And I'm sure they can come up with stuff, but the problem with characters being as strong as they are, you're always going to have to try and do better. And I think they're going to have to start doing some stuff that's like Heroes does, where there's just ridiculous levels of power, like just going through different universes and dimensions and like just incredible stuff. So it can be done in a decent way. But you're going to have to start doing that sort of stuff to even have it be a threat. But that's my thoughts on it returning. Hopefully it'll be good. And who knows? But, you know, Geekdom has blessed us with this information. And hopefully, you know, it's true. I mean, I believe him. I don't see any reason he would make something up. It's not in his character to do that. So, go check out his channel. Dragon Ball Super is most likely coming back. I mean, I figured it was coming back anyways. It's too successful not to. But it's nice to have confirmation. Or at least closest to confirmation as you can get. I don't think he would put his reputation on the line, and he says that in his video. He wouldn't risk his reputation if he wasn't very confident. And he knows a lot of people in the actual business. So I trust his opinion on that. And I trust what he said. So, with that being said, can't wait for Dragon Ball Super to come back and see what they do. I think they will start with the Broly arc, and then move on to the Moto stuff. But we'll see when that happens. Like, comment, and subscribe. God bless. Out.